What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name's Micah, and today we're changing the oil on our 1996 Ford Ranger. It has a 4-liter V6 engine. Now, I have never changed the oil on this truck, so we're gonna go through this together. Everything should be fairly straightforward. We've got the filter we need. We're gonna be using 5W30 oil, and we just recently got this pickup, and I lowered it 3 inches in the front, 5 inches in the rear. Should I have changed the oil before we lowered it? Yes, of course I should have, but we didn't think of that. So we're gonna do it now and see if we can scurry under it. Now, the gentleman I got this truck from said that he hadn't changed the oil in the last 3 years. It had kind of just been sitting around. It was an extra truck for him. So this oil is probably gonna be pretty bad, but we'll get her done. So let's rip into it. I am not gonna be able to shimmy under there, so we gotta jack it up just a little bit here. If you don't have a lowered truck, you probably won't need to do this. All right, we've shimmied ourselves under the Ranger, so we are looking forward on the truck. I have shimmied in from the front. So right under the engine, you're gonna see our oil drain plug right here. Just to the right of that, you will see our oil filter. So everything is in a similar spot. We can probably put our oil drain pan right here. It should catch drips from the oil filter and the oil drain plug. So that is awesome. If I were a guess man, I would say this is a 12 or 13. It's not a 12, probably a 13. Where the heck did my 13 go? It's behind you. All right, let's try the old 13. It is, oh, yep. She was on there tight. We're used to working on lifted trucks, not lowered trucks. So this is different. If you are claustrophobic, this job is not for you on this truck. Oil pan's there. Everything is perfect. Unscrew this bad boy and see how black and terrible this oil is. Oh gosh, no oil change in 3 years. That's good. That's good. And oil got on our face. I can feel it because it's warm. I can taste it too. Well, I'm gonna get out from under the truck and wipe my face off, I think. Oh dear. We'll let that finish up. Once that gets closer, then I'll loosen that oil filter. We'll try not to get it on our face, and then we'll put in our new filter, tighten up our drain bolt, and then we can fill it up with our fresh oil. So we basically got all the oil drained out of here. We haven't taken our filter off yet, but I'm gonna put our drain bolt back in, and then we'll go about taking our filter off. That is our oil filter right there. So I will just set you back here. Gonna grab just a generic oil filter wrench from the passenger side. If you have your handle to your oil filter wrench towards the passenger wheel. Yep, that's the one. That's the trick. That's how you get it. All right, slip our oil pan in the spot it's gotta be. Spin this filter off. And it's splashing everywhere, including on you. All right, I think we got the bulk of that out. So we'll just spin this off. Whoa, it almost dropped right in that oil pan. We would have had a nice splash then. So I'm just gonna go under there and tighten that new oil filter on. We're gonna take a little bit of our old oil and wipe it around the rubber ring on that oil filter. We'll kind of lube it up and make a nice seal. I'm gonna put the ratchet back on our drain bolt. We'll tighten that back up, and then we can lift our hood here, fill her up with some fresh juice. And the wind just picked up. It's starting to rain. I can hear thunder, so that is excellent. Alrighty, so I've got our new oil filter here. I'm just gonna dip my finger in the old oil, kind of wipe that around that rubber seal there. Get her nice and primed and lubed up. But I'm gonna take a rag and I'm gonna wipe off kind of that area, that metal where that oil filter makes a seal. So just so that will seal on there and not leak at all. Just kind of clean off any dirt or anything that was on there, and we'll find the spot where our oil filter needs to be. There it is. I don't know if you can hear the weather right now, but it's like incredibly windy and it is absolutely downpouring on us. I feel it on my legs and my feet sticking out the front end of the truck, so we gotta hurry. We'll tighten that up just a little bit. That should be as firm as we need it there. Solid on there. Give that a couple cinches. Don't get this too tight, you know, aim for 20 foot-pounds. That should be good. All right, let's shimmy out of here and then get some fresh oil in our truck. Well, and so I think we gotta wait until the rain lets up just a little bit. Water and oil, they just don't mix that well. Well, and I think the rain has let up enough that we will continue. So, our oil filler cap right on the top of the engine here. So we will just spin that off. So for your 4-liter V6s, it calls for 5W30. We are putting in some Castrol GTX high mileage. Now the oil capacity is gonna be 5 quarts, but we're gonna put in 4.5. We'll start our truck up, we'll let it run, and then we will check our oil level, make sure we don't overfill it. Alright, looks like the rain is coming back up, so that is awesome. That is fun. We are having fun. And the wind came up, it's blowing our oil out of the funnel. Just got everything working against us today. Pour a little bit more in there. We were about at 4.25 quarts. About 4.5. So we'll button that sucker up. Alright. Take our funnel out, put our cap back on. We'll just check our oil level too here before we start our truck quick. And our engine oil dipstick is going to be on the right side, driver's side of the engine, right down there. Wipe it off, put it back in, pull it out. It says we're at full capacity, but we'll start it up. We'll let some oil cycle through that new filter that we put in, because obviously that is empty. All right, so we fired up our truck. We let it run for a bit. Now it's cooled off. We let it sit for about 5 minutes, so we'll do our final check here. Pull out the dipstick, wipe her off, put it back in. Moment of truth. I think we're gonna need that extra 1/2 quart. So 5 quarts right on the dot. Looks like it is the money. Oh, it's always funny when random people walk by on the sidewalk right there and you're filming a YouTube video, but they can't see the camera or anything. And you're just talking to yourself. Yeah, that just happened. Perfectly to the full line. I'm sure you can't see it, but because that oil is just crystal clean. All right, fantastic. So we'll call that a wrap. That is an oil change on a Ford Ranger. This probably applies to a lot of different years. Probably any Ford Ranger with a 4-liter V6. But yeah, nothing to it. It's all very straightforward. From the drain plug, the filter's right beside it. Literally takes 5 quarts exactly. So just get your big jug of oil. It'll be perfect. I think our 4 quarts of oil cost us $22 and the filter was $5. So $27 oil change on our $700 truck. Perfect. So like the video if this helped you out, subscribe if you guys want to see more, and until next time, have a wonderful evening.